You're acting possessive. I can share a bed with a friend, she announced when I questioned her ex sleeping over. You're right. I agreed, and went to stay at my brother's. 3 days later, she called crying. Her friend had a girlfriend who'd shown up and caused a scene. She wanted me back. I was on a coffee date with someone who didn't share beds with exes. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Throw away for obvious reasons. This all went down about a month ago, and I've been lurking on here for ages, but I finally need to get this off my chest. Maybe it'll help someone else spot the red flags earlier than I did. I'm Mike, 28M, and this is the story of how my 3-year relationship with Emily, 27F, blew up over her insisting it was no big deal for her ex to crash at our place and share her bed. Yeah, you read that right. Buckle up, Reddit, it's a wild one. We met back in college through mutual friends. Emily was this vibrant, outgoing type, always the life of the party, with a laugh that could light up a room. I was more the steady guy, working a solid job in marketing while she bounced between gigs and graphic design. From the start, I was all in. I supported her dreams, even when things got rough. Last year, when she got laid off from her freelance agency, I picked up extra shifts to cover our rent. I'd come home exhausted, but I'd still make her favorite pasta and listen as she vented about how the industry was cutthroat. You're my rock, Mike, she'd say, curling up next to me on the couch. I believed it. I sacrificed weekends to help her build her portfolio, even skipped a work trip that could have led to a promotion because she was spiraling with anxiety. Looking back, I gave a lot, maybe too much, while she took it for granted. But cracks started showing. Emily had this ex, Josh, from high school. They'd dated on and off for years before we met, and she always downplayed it as ancient history. Yet, she'd text him constantly, sharing memes or complaining about her day. I'd catch her smiling at her phone during dinner, and when I'd ask, it'd be, oh, just Josh being funny. I trusted her, but it nagged at me. She'd compare us subtly too. Josh was always so spontaneous. We should travel more like that. I'd brush it off, thinking I was being insecure. After all, I was the one building a life with her in our cozy apartment downtown. We talked about marriage, kids, the whole deal. I even started saving for a ring. Then came the weekend that changed everything. Josh was in town for some vague work thing and needed a place to stay. Emily dropped it casually over breakfast. Hey, Josh is crashing here Friday night. Cool. I paused, fork halfway to my mouth. Our place? Like on the couch? She rolled her eyes. No, the bed. The couch is lumpy, and it's just one night. We're friends, Mike. Don't make it weird. I felt my stomach drop. Friends? Sharing a bed? I tried to stay calm, but I had to say something. Emily, that doesn't sit right with me. He's your ex. Can't he get a hotel? She sighed dramatically, like I was the one being unreasonable. That's when the real conversation started, and it escalated fast. That evening, after work, I brought it up again in the living room. I was sitting on the couch, trying to keep my voice even, while she paced with her phone in hand. Look, Em, I trust you, but this feels disrespectful. Why does he have to share the bed? We have an air mattress. She stopped and crossed her arms, giving me that look, like I was a kid throwing a tantrum. Oh my God, Mike, you're acting so possessive. It's 2025, people can be platonic with exes. Josh and I are just friends now. We've shared beds before when we were traveling with groups. Nothing happened. Why are you making this a thing? I leaned forward, trying to explain without sounding accusatory. Because we're in a relationship. Boundaries matter. If the roles were reversed, and I had an ex sleeping over in our bed, how would you feel? She laughed, actually laughed, short and sharp. I trust you, because I'm not insecure like that. But honestly, Mike, maybe that's the difference. Josh gets me in ways you don't. He's adventurous, remembers the little things from our past. You're safe, reliable, but sometimes I need more than that. If you can't handle me having friends, maybe you're the problem. Her words hit like a punch. Safe, reliable? It felt like she was twisting the knife, making my loyalty sound boring. So, what? I'm just the backup plan while you reminisce with your ex? She shrugged, not even denying it. I'm not saying that. But yeah, if you're going to freak out over something innocent, it shows you don't trust me. And without trust, what's the point? Josh is coming over, end of story. If you don't like it, you can crash somewhere else. I sat there, stunned. The smugness in her voice, the way she dismissed my feelings, it was like I didn't matter. Part of me wanted to argue, to beg her to see how unfair this was. But something clicked. If she could be this cruel, this dismissive, maybe I was seeing her true colors. I stood up slowly. You're right, Emily. I shouldn't be possessive. She blinked, caught off guard. Wait, what? You're right, I repeated, heading to the bedroom. I grabbed a duffel bag and started packing clothes, toiletries, my laptop. She followed, confusion turning to annoyance. What are you doing? You're seriously leaving over this? I zipped the bag, keeping my tone flat. You said if I don't like it, I can crash somewhere else. So, I'm going to my brother's. Have fun with Josh. She huffed, crossing her arms again. Fine, go. But don't come crawling back tomorrow acting like nothing happened. If you walk out that door, we're done. I deserve someone who doesn't question my friendships. I paused at the door, bag over my shoulder. Her eyes were cold, no hint of regret. Just that entitled smirk, like she'd won some power play. Noted, I said simply. No yelling, no tears. I just walked out, got in my car, and drove to my brother Tom's place across town. The drive was a blur, streetlights flashing, my mind racing. What just happened? Was I overreacting, or had she been emotionally checking out for months? I thought about all the times I'd put her first, only to be made to feel like a backup. It hurt, deep in my chest, but I didn't turn around. I texted Tom on the way. Need the couch. Long story. He replied instantly. Doors open, bro. By the time I crashed on his lumpy sofa, the confusion had settled into a quiet resolve. I wasn't going to beg. If she wanted her friend, she could have him. I silenced my phone and tried to sleep, ignoring the what-ifs swirling in my head. Little did I know, karma was already gearing up. The next couple of days at Tom's were a haze. He didn't pry much at first, just handed me a beer and let me crash on his couch. Tom's a few years older, divorced himself, so he gets it. Relationships suck sometimes, man, he said that first night. Take your time. I nodded, but inside, I was a mess. I kept replaying the conversation in my head. Her laugh, that shrug, calling me safe, like it was an insult. Had I really been that blind? Flashbacks hit me hard. Nights I'd stayed up helping her with design projects. Or the time I drove 3 hours to pick her up from a girl's trip because she missed me. I'd thought we were building something real, but now it felt like I'd been her safety net while she flirted with the high wire. I didn't text her, didn't check social media. I blocked her temporarily just to give myself space. No drama, no stalking her stories to see if Josh was there. Instead, I focused on me. Day 1. I called in sick to work, stared at the ceiling, and let the hurt wash over me. Why did it feel so unfair? I hadn't cheated, hadn't lied. I'd been the loyal one, and she treated me like an obstacle. By day 2, I started journaling. Yeah, sounds cheesy, but Tom suggested it. I wrote out the red flags I'd ignored, the constant Josh texts, her emotional distance lately, how she'd pull away when I talked about our future. It was confusing, raw. Part of me wondered if I should have fought harder. But no, I wasn't going to beg someone who dismissed me so easily. Tom dragged me out for a run on day 3. Fresh air, bro, clears the head. As we jogged through the park, I started to feel a shift. The confusion was fading into clarity. You know, I told him, panting, maybe this is a dodged bullet. If she's cool with sharing a bed with her ex, what else was coming? He clapped me on the back. Exactly. You're better than that backup role. That night, I unblocked her, not to reach out, but because I didn't want to hide. I was done letting her control my emotions. I even updated my dating profile, just browsing, telling myself it was time to move forward. Little things. I applied for that promotion I'd skipped before, cooked a meal for myself without thinking of her preferences. It wasn't revenge, it was reclaiming my life. The silence from her end was deafening at first, but I sat with it. Let the unfairness simmer until it turned into resolve. I deserved someone who saw my reliability as a strength, not a flaw. For the first time in days, I slept without the what-ifs. Then, on the 3rd day, my phone buzzed while I was at Tom's kitchen table, sipping coffee and scrolling job listings. It was Emily. I let it ring twice before picking up, keeping my voice neutral. Hello. Mike? Oh God. Mike, thank you for answering. Her voice was shaky, laced with tears. It caught me off guard, but I didn't soften. What do you want, Emily? She sniffled, words tumbling out. Everything's a mess. Josh, he lied to me. We were just hanging out, watching movies, and yeah, we shared the bed like I said, platonically. But then his girlfriend showed up at the apartment this morning. His girlfriend. I didn't know he had one. She freaked out, screaming that I was a homewrecker, throwing stuff. Neighbors called the cops. It was humiliating. Josh just stood there, denying everything, but she had texts proving he'd been cheating on her with me. Wait, no, not cheating, because we didn't do anything. But she wouldn't listen. Now she's posting about it online, tagging me. My friends are blowing up my phone, asking if it's true. I look like the villain here. I leaned back in the chair, processing. Karma, swift and brutal. Josh wasn't just an ex. He was a player, using Emily the way she'd used me. But I didn't gloat. Sounds rough, I said flatly, no sympathy in my tone. It is. Mike, I realize now how stupid I was. I shouldn't have dismissed you like that. You were right about boundaries. I was just, I don't know, feeling trapped or something. But Josh manipulated me, said you were controlling, that I deserved fun. Please, can you come over? We can talk. I miss you. This was all a huge mistake. Her excuses poured out, twisted logic flipping the script. Now I was the hero, and Josh the bad guy? But she'd chosen this. Emily, you made your call. You told me if I left, we were done. But I didn't mean it. I was angry. Come on, we've been through worse. Remember when I lost my job? You were there for me. Be there now. I need my rock back. Hypocrisy at its finest. She'd called me boring, but now I was essential? I paused, letting the silence stretch. I'm busy right now. Take care. Click. No, I'm sorry to hear that. No concern for her mess. She texted immediately, please, Mike. Don't do this. I ignored it. Over the next few hours, the attempts ramped up. Voicemails, call me back. This isn't you. You're not cruel. Then her best friend messaged me on socials. Dude, Emily's a wreck. She knows she screwed up. Give her a chance. Everyone's human. Toxic, like my feelings didn't count. Even her sister called. Unpleasant as ever. You're being petty, Mike. She told me you overreacted about Josh. Grow up and fix this. I blocked them all. By evening, Emily's texts turned desperate. I can't sleep. My reputation's ruined. People think I'm a slut. Help me. Then angry. Fine, ignore me. Shows what kind of man you are. Josh was right. You're spineless. It was satisfying, in a quiet way, seeing her unravel. Mutual friends started reaching out to me. Not her. Turns out, the girlfriend's posts went viral in our circle. Heard about Emily and Josh. Dodged a bullet, man, one texted. She was isolated now, job performance slipping. She mentioned in a text she'd called in sick, broke from the drama. No more smugness, just desperation. But I stayed detached, focusing on my own arc. That irony. She'd discarded me for fun, only to get burned. Justice felt earned, not rushed. The attempts didn't stop. Day 4, more texts, escalating. Mike, let's meet. Coffee. My treat. I need to apologize in person. I didn't respond. Then she showed up at Tom's door that evening. Hair messy, eyes red. Tom answered first, but I stepped up. Emily, what are you doing here? She pushed past him slightly, voice pleading. I tracked your location from before. Sorry, that sounds creepy. But please, hear me out. I was wrong. So wrong. Dismissing you, letting Josh stay, it was disrespectful. I see that now. You've always been good to me, and I took it for granted. Let's start over. I'll cut Josh out, set better boundaries. I love you. Her words hung there, desperate, but laced with that same manipulation, like she was rewriting history. Emily, I said calmly, you showed your true colors. You laughed at my concerns, called me possessive. Now that your friend blew up in your face, I'm supposed to forget. Tears streamed down her face. It wasn't like that. I was confused. Josh fed me lies about you. But you're better than him. Come home. When I didn't budge, anger flashed. God, you're enjoying this, aren't you? Acting all high and mighty while I'm falling apart. If you cared, you'd help. I shook my head. This isn't about caring. It's about respect, which you didn't give me. Tom ushered her out as she ranted. You'll regret this. Her family piled on next. Her mom emailed. Emily's distraught. Be a man and forgive her. Family's about second chances. Unpleasant guilt tripping, ignoring how she'd humiliated me. By day 5, I was done hiding. I'd matched with Sarah on a dating app. A kind, straightforward woman from work circles. We set a coffee date at a local spot downtown. Mid-conversation, laughing about bad movie tastes, Emily burst in. She'd stalked my socials or something. Mike? What the hell? Sarah glanced at me, confused. I stayed composed. Emily, this isn't the time. She glared at Sarah, then back at me. Who's she? Already moving on. I came to talk, privately. Please, Mike. I realize what I lost. You're the stable one, the good guy. Josh was a mistake. He dumped me after. The scene blocked me. I'm alone now. Give us another shot. Her desperation peaked, voice cracking in the crowded shop. Heads turned, public failure on display. I met her eyes firm. Emily, you've become irrelevant to my happiness. I've grown from this. Learn I deserve someone who values boundaries, not tests them. This is Sarah. We're on a date. My life's better without the drama you bring. She stammered, but I can change. Anger surged. You're pathetic, replacing me so fast. I shrugged, indifferent. You've been replaced too, by peace. Goodbye. Sarah and I left as Emily stood there, humiliated. Blocked her for good. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.